Hi friends, this is Shalina. Welcome back to my channel. As you've probably noticed, I have been gone for a while. I had a pretty bad depression spell that lasted for quite a long time. During that depression spell, was not reading fiction, so I did not have a lot to talk about here on this channel because I would read maybe one nonfiction a month, and that was not enough to be making videos about. So I have finally started reading fiction again. It's May currently of 2026. So I wanted to hop on here and at least say hi and give you a book haul of all the books that I have received this year. So I have divided my stacks into paperback and hardback. And let's see. Most of these books I have not read. They vary in genre, and there's no telling. There's all kinds of stuff here. So, and I got them from various sources. So I'll just kind of give you a little rundown. Not take too long with them, especially the ones that I haven't read because I don't have much to tell you about them. And yeah, we'll start with Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Power. This is a sapphic young adult book, I believe. And I got this from Katie at Wine and Words, which is an event put on by Plenty Bookshop here in my hometown. And Katie sells sapphic blind date with a book options at her table. So this is the one I got, and so I'm looking forward to that. And let's see. I don't know how I have so many books here. Y'all don't even know. I've been having these stacked in my apartment forever, and it's just taken so it's a big stack. So anyway, then I have Safari Murder Party by Rachel Moore. I actually got to go to an author event with Rachel Moore and Jenna Levine just the other day. And Safari Murder Party is kind of what it says on the tin. There is a safari, there is murder, and there's a party. And it's supposed to be very unhinged, and I'm looking forward to that. Rachel Moore is really funny as a person, so I enjoyed getting to hear her talk about her book. And then I got that through the page by page program at Plenty, where you pay so much a month and you get to go in and pick a hardcover book up to a certain amount every month. So that was for that. And then I also got A Dagger of Lightning by Meredith Lyons from page by page as well at Plenty. And this is a fantasy that I know features a 45-year-old woman as the protagonist. And that intrigued me quite a bit because, usually you see young people as the protagonists of most stories these days, or maybe occasionally you'll see like an elderly person or elderly group of people, as in like the Thursday Murder Club, for instance. But for the most part, you don't see middle-aged. So I thought that was very interesting, and I wanted to read it. And I actually got to go to an author event at Plenty with Meredith Lyons. That was really fun. And then we have here, okay, hold on. This Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett. So if you are aware, Heather Fawcett wrote the Emily Wilde series, which I am trying to get my husband to read because I think he'll really enjoy them. Besides the point, but I really love the Emily Wilde series. And so when she was coming out with this, I decided to get this as my page by page for one of the months when it came out. And it's a beautiful book. As you can kind of see, there's no dust jacket also, which I think is I love that feature. So there's that. And these books are all going to fall at some point. I just know it. Next, another page by page selection. I got Thief of Night by Holly Black. This one I got for two reasons. One, I wanted to finish the duology because I read Book of Night by Holly Black last year sometime, I think. And I enjoyed it, and I wanted to continue in the series. And then secondly, Books in Lala, Kayla, she has her book title and cover challenges that she does every year, which I'm still, even though I'm, several months behind on actual reading, I am trying to catch up with that. And one of the prompts for the cover challenge is a book that looks like it's been damaged, or like like there's something happening on the book cover itself that it looks like it's part of the book. And this book looks like it's been burned, as you can kind of see there. So this book will fulfill that challenge. So I'm excited about that one. That one follows a girl named Charlie who, there's shadow magic in the world, and it's a little confusing, but she basically is like almost like a con man type person, or was raised that way, and she gets embroiled in this scheme to steal something, and everything goes haywire. And then next for hardbacks, if I can get it off the other one here, we have The Glass Girl by Kathleen Glasgow, or Glasgow. I always say her name weird. I really loved Girl in Pieces and You Would Be Here Now, or something like that, from Kathleen Glasgow before. And this is her newest one, and so I wanted to get it. And then let's see. Our last hardback book was another page by page selection, and it's Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaghy. And this one, all I know about it is a woman winds up, it's like in Antarctica or somewhere like that, washed up on the shore, and this family that lives there has to like nurse her back to health, and there's like everyone has secrets. So there's that. And that's the last hardcover book that I have got in my book haul. So now we're going to go to the paperback ones. And let's see here. For my birthday, I got several books for my birthday. I don't know where they all are. I couldn't find everything. So this stack that I'm going through right now has, for the most part, been in one spot in my apartment because I don't have anywhere to put books. It's just literally been a stack on a table. So I know that there are other stacks of books in my apartment, and I'm not sure when I got some of those, or if those were birthday books, or if I got them since my last book haul on this channel. So yeah, I'm doing my best here. Or, there's no telling. There's no telling what kind of books I have in this apartment that I have lost track of. Anywho, so my husband had gotten me the first book in the Darker Shade of Magic. Is that the name of this series? A Darker Shade of Magic. No. Shades of Magic. What is the name of the series? It doesn't say. So anyway, you're just listening to me ramble. My husband had gotten me A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab last year, the paperback. And so for my birthday, my sister got me A Gathering of Shadows, which is book 2, and A Conjuring of Light, which is book 3. And they're chunky, so they're hard to hold. But that's these right here. So yeah, these were a gift, and I've already read them. They're amazing. That's why I wanted them, because they're good books, and hopefully my husband will also read them, because he needs to expand his horizons, in my opinion. Don't tell him I said that. You can tell him. It's fine. I tell him all the time. Next, I wanted a copy of Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir because I loved the audiobook. So I got this from Plenty Bookshop. And yeah, if you somehow missed the phenomenon that is Project Hail Mary in the movie, check it out. Like, the audiobook was really, really good because of some of the stuff they do with the sound. And sound plays a part in the story a little bit. So that was really cool. Unfortunately, it's an Audible exclusive. I wouldn't typically point you in that direction, but it is what it is. There's no other, You can't get it anywhere else if you want the audiobook. But I'm sure the paperback or hardback or whatever ebook would be just as fine. It's a good book, no matter what. And the movie was phenomenal. I loved the movie. I love Ryan Gosling, so I was happy about that. Okay. Then from our roommate, I got Grady Hendrix's Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, which I know just a very little about, back in the day. I say back in the day, I hope this still doesn't happen. When a girl would wind up pregnant, they would send her away to, spare the honor of the family or whatever, and she would wind up usually in some kind of convent or something, and nuns would take care of her until she had the baby, and then the baby would be adopted out or something like that. And that's kind of the case here, except for there's witchcraft involved. So, looking forward to that. Next is a book that made me cry, and it gave me, I didn't like burst out crying reading it, but like after reading it, I just sat for a little bit in my feelings, and then I cried. So I don't know how to mark that. If you don't know, I keep a list of books and media of all kinds that have made me cry. Because it doesn't happen that often. I cry on my own just fine, without help. But when it comes to things making me cry, that is a rare occurrence. So I keep track of what does that. So this is going on the list, and it's A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. And what to say about this book? There's a starlet, like an old Hollywood starlet, who is being interviewed by two people who are competing to tell her life story, essentially. And there are secrets, and there's a romance, and it's just really, really good. Emily Henry, as I have come to find out for myself, is a phenomenal writer. I have read Beach Read and I have read this, and a lot of people did not like this when it came out, but I really loved it. And I don't know if that's because I haven't read a lot of her other stuff yet. I liked Beach Read a lot, but this one I liked better. So I don't know if I'm just one of those weird ones going against the grain here and liking this book that everyone seemed to not enjoy as much. So, but I really loved it. It made me cry, and I would recommend it. So I had to have a copy, and my husband was kind enough to buy it for me. So during that author event with Rachel Moore and Safari Murder Party, that was in conversation with Jenna Levine, who wrote My Roommate is a Vampire, which I enjoyed a couple years ago. And they had a little safari in the bookstore where if you found one of the plastic animals hidden around the store, you could select one of the backlist books of Jenna Levine or Rachel Moore. So because I had read My Roommate is a Vampire and enjoyed it, and my husband found the giraffe, he gave it to me so I could get my Vampire Plus One by Jenna Levine. And so I'm really looking forward to this one. It's a romance, high concept, fantasy, contemporary fantasy set in our world, but with vampires. And the main character here, what is his name? Reginald. He's in the first book, and so you meet him in the first book, and he's rather funny. So I'm excited to get to see his story. And then lastly, I purchased from the author S.T. Gibson I think this was a UK copy. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, it's A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson, and it's signed, and it has this pretty red foiling on the cover. Purchased directly from the author. And it was just because I had read and loved this book and wanted a copy of it, and when she mentioned in her stories, I follow her on Instagram, that she was selling off some copies that she had, I wanted one. So Dowry of Blood is about, how do you say her name? Constanta. And Constanta is one of the wives of a very famous vampire who is not named in the text, but this is like a love letter, a last love letter to him. and it tells Constanta's story along with the other spouses of said famous vampire. So yeah, it's a really good story. Trigger warnings abound, so just be sure to check those out. But just an amazing book. So I wanted to have a copy of that. And that, my friends, is the end of my book haul. So have you have you been okay these last months? I hope you have been okay, better than me anyway. And I know the world is on fire per usual these days. So we're just going to keep on keeping on and continue trying to read. And hopefully I will be back with you sometime at the beginning of next month with a wrap up of what I read in May, because I actually have read fiction books in May. Thank goodness we're back on it. And I have to give a little bit of a shout out to the Book Nook, which is a Discord community that my friend Anna created. And she invited me to it, and I kind of warned her. I was like, I've been in a slump. I haven't been reading, but they post like different challenges and things in it, and that kind of got me back into wanting to read. And I've been picking up some books and doing some challenges and just some fun stuff. And I hope to talk to you about that more later. If you made it to the end of the video, we'll go simple. Leave me a book stack emoji in the comments. And yeah, thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.